Hi, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Gabrielle, but you're probably already familiar with me if you're a regular on my channel as the face of the Ultralife company. Today's video will be a little different. It's just going to be a Q&A, so you're going to get to know me as a person, a little bit about my history and just what got me into ASMR and just some questions that you guys have been asking. Before I jump into the Q&A, I really want to say a huge thank you to everybody that watches my videos, to my subscribers, to my channel members, and just casual watchers of my content. Your guys' support means the world to me. Thank you for sticking around, and I look forward to making much more content for you guys. And yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit more today. So let's get into the Q&A. So first I'm going to start with some personal and background questions. First I have, where am I from? I am from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. So it's on the east coast of Canada, Atlantic Canada. I've had a few people comment that they've picked up on my Canadian accent, but I'm surprised I don't get it more often because I feel like the East Coast accent can be quite strong, and I feel like sometimes it comes out, but I guess not that much. If I went to college or university, what did I study? And if I didn't, what did I want to study? So I went to both. I went to college and university. I only did 1 year in university. It was like a philosophy journalism program. And then, yeah, it just wasn't really for me. I did take one really fun class, though. It was called Ghost, Goblins, Ghouls, and Gurus. And the professor was really neat. He was fully tatted, and he traveled the world and just studied different cults and just different kind of alt religions and stuff. It was really fun. So that was the best part of the year. But otherwise, no, I went to college for graphic design. I did also take another class in college, which was, it was a film, photography, audio. It was a mixed media class. So that's kind of what gave me a little bit of a foundation for some of the the tools I use today. But I went to school for graphic design. That's what I do professionally as my career. Next question, what are your hobbies? So for my hobbies, I like to play video games. I have a Nintendo Switch. That's typically what I play on. I also like to play TCG Pocket. It's the mobile Pokemon card game. Me and my boyfriend, we like to play that. We're competitive with the cards we pull and stuff. It's mostly me just being jealous of what he gets and I don't get. But we do that. I watch a lot of YouTube. We watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay shows. Yeah, I like a lot of random things. TikTok, video games, and YouTube are mostly what I'm doing. And art. I like to make art too. What's your favorite movie of all time? My favorite movie of all time, hands down, is The Labyrinth by Jim Henson. I could watch that 1,000,000 times more than I've already watched it. Do you play any video games? If so, what kind? I talked about this a little bit in my first Q&A, but my favorite video game franchise is Zelda. I love Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't finish, but I watched my boyfriend play it all through, and I played most of it. But I like those. I'm currently playing Sunhaven. It's really bizarre, but you should check it out. It's pretty cool, actually. I really like it, but I really don't know where it's going. Every time I'm playing it, I feel like I'm discovering something new. I play Hello Kitty Island Adventures. I'm really deep into that. I loved Animal Crossing New Horizons, but I haven't played that in a while. Also currently playing the Pokemon game, ZA, but I've kind of stopped for a bit, but I need to get back on that. Do I collect anything? I love to collect things. I feel like in a past life I must have been some sort of goblin or something that hoarded everything because I love to collect things. I collect those Pop Mark figures. I have a ton of those. I have a lot of them in storage too, not even on display because I just really don't have a place for them. I like to collect Furbies, anything related to Furbies. You might know that I like Furbies already if you've seen older videos on my channel. I also collect art. I love art. I've been wanting to make a video about my art collection, my prints and stuff I have. So if you're interested, please let me know because I'd love to talk about it. Do I have any siblings, a partner, or who's important in my life? So I do have siblings. I have 2 brothers, a sister, and a partner, yes. I have a boyfriend. We live together. He's actually off camera right now. He's typically off camera in most of my videos kind of just wrangling the cats and making sure they don't make any sounds or disrupt me during my video. Do you want to say hi? For these next questions, I'm going to answer some about my ASMR journey and preferences. So how did you start your ASMR journey, and was it difficult to get started? So my journey started, I guess, like 10 years ago when I started watching ASMR content. I do talk a lot about some of the creators that really inspired me and just some videos that I really enjoyed from quite a while back in my previous Q&A. So if you're interested in hearing some like recommendations for some videos you might not have ever seen, definitely go check it out. I'll link it here in the description below. So definitely go check out those videos. And was it difficult to get started? I would say that anybody that's interested in starting to make YouTube videos, it really has to be kind of like a passion project. You really have to love doing it and that be the like sole reason for why you're making content, because it takes a long time for you to gain traction or for people to just find your videos. And so, yeah, in the beginning, there might not be very many people that watch. So as long as it's something that you enjoy doing, then you definitely go for it. But it's definitely challenging, to get a footing in the beginning. What is your favorite type of ASMR to watch or listen to? My favorite type of ASMR right now is any kind of like going to get a beauty service done. So like going to like a spa and getting a facial. There's one creator on here, I think it's ASMR Beauty. I really apologize that I don't know her channel name off the top of my head, even though I literally watch her every night. But she typically goes to like Korean salons, or she'll just go to like places around London. Like she's a European creator, and yeah, she's lovely. I just like seeing her, getting her services, and just really getting to experience services that I probably wouldn't get a chance to do on my own. But yeah, it's really, I love watching her stuff. Who is my favorite ASMR artist? It's so challenging. Right now I'm really liking Shani, and I like the White Rabbit. Jaden, she's great. Yeah, handful of people. There's so many great creators, so I mean, I know I'm leaving out a million, but yeah, there's a lot. There's so many out there. Do you ever struggle with ASMR burnout or lack of creative ideas, and how do you overcome it? I don't think I don't struggle with burnout, like ASMR burnout, or like lack of creative ideas. I have a billion ideas. My brain doesn't ever stop. What is challenging though is just burnout in general, is just really having that mental capacity or like the physical ability to just make content. So for me, like I work a full-time job, 9 to 5, and the amount of editing that's required for my videos, it takes like multiple days of like over 20 hours of editing, like constantly. It's a lot. I put a lot of time into my videos, so it's just difficult. And over the past few months, I've really struggled with my health. So it's just been challenging for me to meet any kind of like deadline or really produce anything, just because I haven't had the ability to do so. But yeah, so I don't think I don't have like creative burnout or like ASMR burnout. All I want is to make videos. I have like a million ideas in my head. It's just I don't have like the time, energy to like execute them. But I'm hoping to make that change. So I'm hoping to make a lot more content moving forward. So yeah, fingers crossed that'll work. Which is funny because the next question is a little bit of a dig, which, I deserve it, I think, a little bit. Do you plan on going back on a more regular upload like schedule? And yes, like I absolutely do. I plan on making as much content as I can in the month of December. So right now I have that first video I just put out, which was the hotel check-in. I'll have this Q&A, and then I have a really fun one in the works that I'm excited to share. So hopefully in the next week after this, hopefully, that will be out. Next, I have creative process questions. So up first, how do you come up with creative ideas for your videos? A lot of my suggestions come from you guys. Even in this last video, the hotel check-in, the idea itself came from a suggestion somebody had left on the prior video, so on that DMV roleplay. So yeah, definitely leave me your suggestions because I'm always open and I love seeing them. I have such a long list of stuff I want to do. It's just really, I need time to execute them. And yeah, so I have lots of ideas. I think that's really the beauty of the Ultralife universe, like how I created it. It's really, really flexible. So really anything, any topic can lend itself to it. So anything from, yeah, like a car dealership to like the hotel check-in to getting your hair done or a tattoo, or, you know, you're going to the spa. Really anything can become an Ultra Life video. So I just feel like the possibilities are endless. So I feel like I really don't have any creative block with coming up with a concept. It's really, I have too many ideas and I don't know how to narrow it down. Anyway, so next one, how long does your editing process take? What does it look like? I really feel like I can't put it into words, explain what the process is. It's quite intense. As far as what it looks like, I start the kind of creative writing and the concept the week before, and it kind of all leads up to me filming, let's say on a Friday. So I'll film the video that night, and from the moment I finish editing the video, sometimes I'll sleep that night, but sometimes I'll go right into editing. And then it's really just constant for the next like 48 hours on and off, me taking like mini breaks editing and barely sleeping. It's really not healthy, and that's why it's been really challenging to keep making videos, because as like I work full time, I have a full-time job, and balancing making YouTube videos just on those like off hours or on the weekends has been insane. So, and just my health got really, really bad recently. You know, I'm getting better, and yeah, so it's been a struggle. I don't know how to find that balance. Something that's been really challenging is that the Ultra Life videos, because they are so like intense with the production, with the editing, I feel like I'm really limited to like making more content because it takes so much time to make and produce one video that it sucks, because I feel like I'm holding back from making more videos for you guys. Like I'd love to make more pared down videos, even that aren't necessarily Ultra Life themed, but I've just been really hesitant and worried because I don't know how you guys are going to respond. And everybody that watches my videos, they watch them for the sci-fi or for the Ultra Life. So I've been really kind of nervous about straying away from that. Even if it meant giving you guys more content, you know, the idea would be never to take away Ultra Life. That is like my main focus for my channel. But I would love to have some content filled in there throughout the week that, you know, wasn't as labor intensive for me, like production wise. Some things that I've talked about in the past that I really do want to bring into my channel are like live streams. Like, I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, or even like like gaming. Like if I was like playing Sunhaven, or if you guys just wanted to watch. So totally get that's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's not necessarily why you followed me here on my channel. But let me know if you're interested in any content that's not necessarily Ultra Life with all the HUD screens and the immersiveness, which it's never going anywhere, so don't get scared. It's just that I want to make more. I just can't right now make more Ultra Life videos in 1 week, if that makes sense, but I could make an Ultra Life video and other videos. Anyway, food for thought. Let me know what you think. Okay. Do you have any editing experience before Ultra Life, or did you learn along the way? So as far as my experience with editing, I did take a media class. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. So it was like a film production class, so I got kind of like the basics of it. So yeah, and I've worked in marketing for over 10 years, so I'm familiar with making kind of like video content for clients. So I'm not by any means a professional in video editing. However, I will teach myself what I need to learn. That's why it also takes me even longer to do some things, because I'm a perfectionist, which you may have or not have noticed in my videos. So yeah, I will make it happen, but I don't necessarily pick up super easy, but I will make it look beautiful. It just might take me a little longer. So my next question is, do I think I have a mapped out lore for Ultra Life, and is it open-ended in developing as I go? Oh, sorry. Or is it open-ended in developing as I go? Ultra Life. Okay. So, you know, I've really debated over the past year, like how I want to like feed out Ultra Life lore. And, you know, what I would love to do, and I just like don't know how to execute it properly, I guess. Anytime if you're familiar with like video game lore, and like when you have to like go and look at the files, or like take a photo and like up the contrast, like this really immersive video game style of playing like horror games that's kind of popular. I would love to make that with my Ultralife content, and I have been. I definitely put in little secrets in every video, kind of nods to what is going on. And some of you guys definitely pick up on the story, but nobody knows really the exact thing that's happening, which is really fun. So it's been really exciting to see you guys talk and like have your guesses of what's happening. But yeah, there is a general storyline to what's happening. I mean, the baseline is this, is that it's the future of humanity. And it's just a commentary on what happens when these mega corporations become bigger and bigger and bigger to the point that they will own everything. So Ultralife, what once was maybe, let's think of the big companies of today, right? Like think of like your Tesla, think of your Google, think of whatever. What happens when it's left unchecked and it gets so much money that it then owns everything, right? And then if you tie that into tech and sci-fi and dystopian concepts of, what could have been the technology that Ultralife first started with, that happened, that they do have this monopoly over everything. It's really, really interesting because I feel like that's a really big likelihood of where we're going with technology. So Ultralife, you're getting, no matter where you're going in the future, it's Ultralife runs it. It's the DMV, they're the politics, they control everything. They're your shopping, your entertainment, every aspect of your life, even you and your personality is controlled by a mega corporation. So I find that really, really interesting and really spooky. As far as my favorite kind of content to take in, it's like Black Mirror is my favorite show. Severance, I just discovered that this year has now become one of my favorite all-time shows. I love any of this kind of content that feels not so distant and it feels like it's real, it could be possible, but it kind of gives you this uneasy feeling. So that's just the kind of content I like to enjoy, and I just do it through an ASMR spin because I love personal attention role plays. So I just mix the two. So that is the general concept of Ultralife. Now, there is absolutely deep lore as to who Gabrielle is and what the company was, and I have so much in store for you guys, and I hope you keep an eye out for any kind of little secrets along the way because, yeah, I'll be hiding in some gems. Like another thing I like to do with my videos, it's not necessarily related to the lore, but, I'm a big pop culture person, and like every video I try to incorporate something that's relevant to the times. So for example, in this like hotel video, I called it the Madeline Suite. That's because like I'm really into the Lily Allen Madeline song right now, and I just thought it was like a cheeky way to put that in there. I'm like obsessed with Three Eye Atlas. If you're familiar, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Look it up if you're interested. But like I've had some like Three Eye Atlas references. So I'm just really into like incorporating just little aspects of my personality and me into every video. So the story does have flexibility to it, but the overall baseline of what's going on is, yes, I do have a framework, but it's very flexible. So I do have an opportunity to change it if I want, but in general, it's just that's what's going on and you're just getting to experience it. And, the fun thing about Ultralife is that everything's controlled, but it's through this like beautiful lens, right? It's like everything's taken care for you and it's customized and you choose and you customize your perfect life. So it's this contrast of this like scary undertone versus like, but you get everything you want if you can pay for it. I like that. To me, that's interesting. And I love the idea of making an ASMR universe where it's all interconnected. I like that. So yeah, that's it. If you could choose one Ultralife scenario or technology to be real, which would it be? Probably anything that can remove pain. I struggle with chronic pain, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I like to include that a lot in my videos, because I know what it's like. Both me and my partner struggle with different varieties of pain and illnesses in our health. So in a world where you could just kind of turn that off, that sounds really great to me. But, at least you can watch a video and pretend like it doesn't hurt anymore. It's depressing, but right? I mean, it helps a little bit maybe. Okay, next I have a few questions about my pets. So somebody said, I remember stories about the cat and rats mentioned previously. Can you speak more about that? You probably don't know what they're talking about, but if you watched my first Q&A, you do. I mentioned how, like, my brain never stops and how people ask, like, do you think you're going to run out of ideas for Ultralife? And I used the example of how I have an ongoing other universe that you guys aren't aware of about my cat, Macaroni, and all the trouble he gets into. you know, I just talk about it like it's like an ongoing story. It's not written anywhere, but it's like word of mouth story that I repeat so often that it's almost like it's history now. But all this I'm trying to say is that I have a whole universe creator on Macaroni, my cat, and like his best friend Rick Courtney, which is a local rat that he talks to out the window, and all of the fun friends and shenanigans he gets into. One day I hope to turn all these stories into like a children's series. I think would be really fun. Just like another passion project for down the road. But yeah, I have a lot of ideas and my brain never stops, and I'm constantly talking about things that I like and I'm interested in and my special interests. And one of those things is my cat Macaroni and the stories I create. So yeah. What is the story behind Macaroni's name? I just wanted something kind of silly. I really just wanted to have a name that felt like that brought me joy when I said it. I knew I wanted a British short hair like my whole life. I have another cat named Nico. He's a senior. He's a tabby. I love him to death. You haven't seen him in videos. I just try not to bother him too much. But a few years ago, I had saved up some money and I just wanted to invest in like my dream cat breed, which was a British short hair. So I just remember I just wanted to find, like, just pick a name that was silly and cute that I thought would be fun and that would just bring me joy. And so it ended up being Macaroni. He's more commonly referred to in the house as Roni. That's his name, but Macaroni. Yeah, he's a sweetie. And can I incorporate him into a video? Okay, so I've thought about this a million times. I would love to have like an ASMR video where it's like Macaroni doing ASMR on you. Like maybe he's covering me at Ultralife. I just, then I feel like everybody would comment that I'm torturing him and that it's animal abuse. So, I mean, I just won't do it, but I feel like it'd be really cute and it wouldn't be animal abuse because he would like the attention. But, you know, I'm just gonna not do it and save myself the trouble. You know, hashtag Teamugate. I don't know if you guys remember that. That when I did a Temu sponsorship. Y'all, you guys grilled me. Never again, right? I didn't do it again. And they've offered me every month since. So please, I've needed the money and I've turned it down. So no, no more Temu sponsorships. But we love Manta. God bless Manta. Ding, 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 Manta. Okay, anyway. Yes, I'd like to incorporate Macaroni in a video. I need to think about it. Give me your suggestions. Like, how can I do it where nobody's gonna accuse me of being an animal abuser by having Roni doing something? I'm just worried. I have severe. See, I'm already loud. I'm sorry. See, if you're trying to relax right now, I've already got hyped up. I have severe generalized anxiety disorder. TMI. I don't care. I do. So I get stressed. I'm always anxious that you guys are gonna be mad at something I do. So. Let me know, okay? Just let me know. What is your favorite video you've made or the one you're most proud of? I think if you're really wanting to get to know my personality, you should watch the Furby role plays. Those are hilarious. I like just crack myself up recording them. I'm like, I have to keep pausing because I'm laughing at my own jokes. But to me, that's like my humor is just this like kind of silly nonsense, but you should watch the Furby videos. Even if you don't like Furbies, basically you're going to Ultralife to adopt a sentient Furby, okay? And they're like already available, so they have personalities and like the trouble they get into at the adoption center. Obsessed. I think those are really funny. They don't do as well as like other videos, but like I think they're so funny. Ones I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of all my videos because I really don't half-ass my videos. I put all my effort into each and every one. I really do my best on every single one. Some that I'm really proud of that haven't gotten as much attention is like the tarot one, like the fortune teller. It's really short, but it's like really cool. It's like a fortune teller box, like an Ultralife fortune teller box. You know, like the ones where, think of like the lady, the crystal ball, and you would like pay a little something and then you get your fortune told, but it's like an Ultralife one. So go check it out. I'll link it. And like my personal stylist one with the bubbles, that was really, really neat. It took like ridiculous amount of time to edit, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Yeah. And that concludes the questionnaire. So thank you for sticking around if you have so far. I'm sorry if this was too loud or, you know, it's not a super ASMR video. This is really just for the fans that wanted to get to know me a little bit better. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Thank you. And yeah, until next time, thanks for watching.